Week 2 of the NFL season begins tonight in Green Bay. Packers home to the Commanders. Kickoff is at 8:15 Eastern time. Now, Week 2 will wrap up with a Monday night doubleheader. That includes the Raiders hosting the Chargers in Las Vegas. No practice today for Raiders tight end Brock Bowers, who suffered a knee injury in their win against the Patriots in Week 1. We knew that 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy was dinged up from their Week 1 win against the Seahawks. NFL Network says today that Purdy could miss 2 to 5 weeks because of his turf toe injury, also nursing a shoulder injury, but the NFL Network says the games against the Saints and Cardinals these next 2 weeks are in serious jeopardy. Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy didn't practice as his wife gave birth to their baby boy today. Bills defensive tackle Ed Oliver didn't practice because of an ankle injury. In baseball, Blue Jays lead the Astros 4-0 in the 8th. Orioles top the Pirates today 3-2. I'm Dan Beyer.
Ooh, yeah. Sometimes you just need some macho man in your life.
That's why I'm here.
In a rough week, right?
True. Never forget 9/11 and, of course, the nightmare Wednesday we all went through yesterday.
Yeah, bud.
What an uneasy feeling yesterday gave you. Had a hard time sleeping. Let's all be better people. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, and you know what? We're here to bring the word of the day, levity. Levity, everyone. Levity!
Anytime Rich says the magic word, scream real loud. Welcome to Stevie's Playhouse. Steve Covino, Rich Davis, Spot, Ryan, Danny G, Beyer. And you, Fox Sports Radio Nation. Let's have a kick-ass Thursday. Let's be rocking out. Let's go. Broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Business fluctuations make running your manufacturing business complex, but staffing your business doesn't have to be. Let Express Employment Pros provide the workforce you need.
Oh.
Go to expresspros.com to find a location near you. That's expresspros.com.
And as Danny G wrote down here, to see us do our thing, with an A, thing, go to youtube.com/@Covino and Rich FSR. We're here. You can see my lame attempt at rooting on the Mets, who stink like a hobo's butthole.
Wow.
LFGM. Let's effing go Mets. I got the Grimace 2024 shirt. Come on, let's go.
You can see my sweet 1986 Throwback Thursday Big Trouble in Little China t-shirt. Yeah, buddy. It's all in the reflexes, as Jack Burton said. And that makes me think of the fight this weekend, which if we don't have time today, we'll talk about on Overpromised, our bonus pod on our new YouTube page. Again, youtube.com/Covino and Rich FSR. But first, before we get into old school and 50 hits and reminisce and throw it back, talk about the games this weekend in the NFL, can we talk about a team that might be ass?
Do you mean the Miami Dolphins?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. The Miami Dolphins very well could be, awful. And, it just makes you realize Mike McDaniel, who is so loved as a 49ers offensive coordinator, got the opportunity, ended up looking
a breath of fresh air for a minute, right?
But
Like, he's not your conventional type of coach in the NFL.
He was like a, nerdy-looking dude. That
also
was
a guy that started off as a young man in the organization and a guy that worked his way up the football ranks. He had a cool story. He had a cool vibe about him. I'm not saying that he's not that cool. I'm saying that maybe he's just rubbing people different nowadays.
Well, my feeling is that I'll give you the analogy. You know how you overlook things sometimes? Like if you're dating a really beautiful woman, you sort of overlook her flaws because you're just like, oh, she's like real hot. And then the hotness fades when you realize, oh, wow, there's things I don't like about her.
Yeah, reality sets in.
Yeah, reality sets in. I think with Mike McDaniel, not only as an offensive coordinator, but as a head coach, like snark don't mix with losing. And his like
snark don't mix.
It's his whole shtick, which isn't really a shtick, it's him. His snarky, funny, sarcastic vibe only works when you're winning. Like, hey, we're catching up with Coach Mike McDaniel, and he's like running to the locker room, and the sideline reporter's like, there he is, look at him being all silly. That Mike McDaniel vibe only works, I think, when you're winning, because when you aren't winning, his whole vibe just comes across as apathetic. Take a listen to him after Game 1 when they got an ass whooping.
He's the captain, the franchise quarterback, and everybody kind of fell victim to something similar. I also know that he's very, very much like most quarterbacks, to be honest, where you're putting a lot of work into something, and your first time doing it for a collective 4 quarters in months, you're not at your best.
What's this guy talking about?
And then, the other Mike McDaniel.
He sounds like that pageant girl when Mario Lopez asked her a question. Remember that?
Yes, of course.
She's like, yeah, and such and whatnot.
Well, that, and when he even said, like, well, the good thing is it can't get worse.
That was
like that type of stuff.
Mike McDaniel talking about Tua. It seemed like he was tongue-tied or at a loss for words, or I don't know. That's not how a head coach talks to the press. It's a really weird comment, really weird soundbite.
Everything about it.
It almost feels like it's AI. Like, that can't be real. Can that be real? And it is real. And like Rich just mentioned, very apathetic after the game with his comments and his whole attitude about their play on the field.
There's almost a vibe like he knows the inevitable reality, and he's probably going to be the first coach fired this year.
It seems that way if they don't turn it around.
Well, if they lose this week to the Patriots, they play the Bills week 3, and then the Jets week 4, which are not easy games. The Jets look pretty good, and the Bills, please, come on. So they could very well start 0-4, and that's the end of Mike McDaniel, unfortunately.
I love the comments underneath this McDaniel clip that's gone viral. The first fan says, "This man is not a leader. He is an absolutely horrible public speaker. How can a group of 53 men gather around this guy and be inspired to play? Ridiculous."
Again,
based on that, based on that, for real, I completely agree. I don't want to dump on a guy in one bad moment, but they made the Colts look like superstars this past weekend. Daniel Jones looked like Lamar Jackson out there. He looked like he's the MVP of the league against that team. And that was the way he handled the press?
Well,
that was just as bad as how they looked on the field, if not worse. He's no better than what we saw in the game. It was really, really embarrassing.
When you see other head coaches in the NFL really fire up their team.
Yeah.
And I know they lost week 1, but I don't know why. Like a Dan Campbell type comes to mind. Like,
well, he's a very much a rah-rah guy.
Guy that when he speaks, it almost looks like his muscles are flexing.
He's
and
like
he's
a drill sergeant. Like a drill sergeant.
When you get a guy like that get you all fired up, and, you've seen a lot of coaches highlight it because, Fox and CBS do tap into a lot of those post-game locker room celebrations. And you see it on Hard Knocks, and you see it on quarterback and wide receiver on Netflix. You get a sense of what quarterbacks, what coaches really fire people up. And I think the Mike McDaniel snarky, apathetic, funny, he's like, he's funny. That doesn't work when you're losing. I'm telling you.
It just got stale. It overstayed its welcome. It expired. He seems uninspired.
Yeah.
By no means do I want to be the guy that flip-flopped that fast after week 1 and now thinks this guy's the worst. Look at what he's given you. That's based on that speech and everything else that we saw week 1. It doesn't look good. I don't want to be the guy that's just hating on this dude. But that's what we're working with, and all we could do is make our observations. It's not looking good for him. It's not looking good for the team. That might be the worst head coach speech I ever heard. Well, that's not even a joke.
Just ask yourself this. If they beat the Patriots convincingly in week 2, and they have a pretty solid win in Tua and Tyreek, and that whole offense gets it going, is it definitely over? Like, is this one of those, like, it's inevitable? Like, they're just not going to really get it together.
Well, like you said, that leads to an 0-3, possibly 0-4 start for the Dolphins. I say that's not looking good for him and his job.
I know division battles.
Again, the reality's setting in, guys.
Division battles could go anyway. We saw, teams like Cleveland play division teams tight, and they're clearly not as good. But Danny, let me ask you: if they go, where's the McDaniel's leash cut? Is it if they go 0-3 after losing to Buffalo? Does he even get 4 weeks in? Could he go 0-3 into the Jets game?
Yeah, it's around that fourth or fifth game. Same with the leash on young quarterbacks getting in finally for a veteran who's maybe stinking it up.
Russell
It's the
Wilson.
Same thing.
Russell Wilson. What's the
same thing? 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, you're going to try to salvage somewhat or something of the season. So your thoughts on that, because it feels fake. That's a real clip, and it's pretty embarrassing. DB, what are your thoughts on this?
It's interesting just schedule-wise as we break down a lot of times like we are with the Niners with injuries. You mentioned where does it go? Because the Dolphins play Thursday night next week.
Yeah.
If you were to make a move, I would think it would probably be after the week 3 game, like if they were 0-3, because then at least
give a new head coach a week and a half.
Yeah, a little bit more time to at least adjust. Otherwise, their bye doesn't come up until November 23rd.
Rich made his analogy about this feels like reality setting in when a hot woman's negative qualities start to kick in, right?
Yeah, you're like, you were just so excited to date her because she was so hot. And then
you
you
see
like,
that reality. You're like, maybe she is a pain in the ass. Maybe she's not that great. Maybe I was just blinded because she's hot. Maybe we were a little blinded because Mike McDaniel was so different and
great play caller.
seemed to be a great
funny,
play
like,
caller.
brought a good new energy, but
right.
We
liked his commentary. We liked his answers. We liked his swag about him. But I have a different analogy. You ever feel like when you're on your way out of anything, a job, an old apartment, whatever, you stop caring as much? Like, I remember waiting tables thinking, I'm done with this. And I was like mad at everybody. I didn't care about the job anymore. I'm like, I'm going on to radio. I don't want to work with you idiots anymore. This place sucks. Stop caring. Stop putting as much effort in. How about your apartment? You're leaving. You know the lease is up, or your house. You're moving. You stop cleaning that house that last month there. You stop caring the same way. You know you're on your
if
way
you
out.
spill something on a carpet, you just leave it.
Just, again, or a relationship. You know it's not going anywhere. You start neglecting it, right? I feel like McDaniel, just based on the press conference. And based on what he said about Tua, that's the best he could have said about Tua.
NFL coaches
it seems like he's not caring. And if the leader's not caring, the team's not caring. And if that continues and they lose this week, give it 2 more, he's out.
He's NFL coaches are too respectable, and you work too hard to get there to not care. But do you think there is a sense that Mike McDaniel knows deep down inside, like, I'm not going to last this season? It just does.
It seems that
maybe
way.
He's looking at his team, DB, and he's like, I see my personnel. I see what I got. And, yeah, we might win this week, but I don't think this. He may deep down inside feel I'm not lasting the year.
To his credit, he maxed out a lot of things. Like I think he maxed out Tua for what Tua is as a quarterback. We don't know how long Tua's going to last. We've seen the serious injuries that he's suffered with his concussions. Honestly, it's not like they got a young Tyreek Hill when they brought him in, so they maximize him, but that was not going to last. Ultimately, it ends up being the head coach falling, and there may be a point to that. The only reason, and I don't have any inside information why I think that wouldn't happen, why he wouldn't quit, is because those things circle throughout the league, where like on your next job or your next, if it was thought that he quit on his team or wasn't putting forth the effort, then I think that would prevent him from maybe getting another head coaching job elsewhere. So I would hope that he isn't. But if it's in the back of his mind, knowing that I know I can't get much more out of Tua and Tyreek Hill maybe on the decline, yeah, he may already know his fate.
Yeah.
After the game, again, his ho-hum attitude after a major ass whooping, like you would have thought he would have showed some passion or anger or did something to fire the team up. The positive, he said, remember, the positive is I don't see how it could be any worse. And you got to hear that clip. You got to hear that clip, I think, one more time, Sexy Ryan, just to hear how ridiculous it sounds when asked about his quarterback. This is him talking about Tua. If you missed it, you got to hear it again because it sounds fake.
He's the captain of the franchise quarterback. And everybody kind of fell victim to something similar. I also know that he's very, very much like most quarterbacks, to be honest, where you're putting a lot of work into something and your first time doing it, for a collective 4 quarters in months, you're not at your best.
What?
It makes no sense.
I feel like it sounds like he was on painkillers or something.
Translation is that
did he have a bad day?
Translation too is like he's pretty much saying it was their first go as this new unit together as an offense. Give him a little time.
You're fluent in gibberish?
Yes,
Rich is fluent in gibber jabber.
I understood that.
Are you fluent in Valley Boy? Because he had 7 ums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7 ums and 1 like in there. Rich drops a lot of likes.
I still think this is AI. I've been like cross-referencing like to make sure this is not computer generated.
Was that a weird edit or something? Like it's very odd. Again, this is from the leader of the team. That's the head coach. Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite had a better speech than him.
Well,
I'll make all your wildest dreams come true or something.
Well, what do you want from a coach or a manager in these moments?
Some sense of urgency and passion.
I just wanted that too.
Well, I'll throw this at you. Like, we just came off of this Cowboys documentary. Did you guys watch it?
Yeah, I thought it was great.
What did you think Jimmy Johnson's tenure was in Miami? How they characterized it in that documentary? It was a short blurb.
Yeah.
But like watching how it was characterized compared to what the Cowboys, it seemed like it was a failure, right? Like it not matching up to the back-to-back Super Bowls. Jimmy Johnson made the playoffs 3 times in 4 years in Miami. Since Don Shula, Jimmy Johnson actually has the second longest tenure of any coach with the Dolphins.
Wow.
Dave Wanstead was there 5 years. That was the second longest tenured coach for the Dolphins. So it may not. Mike McDaniel is going to be the fall guy for it. But the Dolphins have been pretty much mediocre at best, would you say, Dan? Ever since Don Shula ended up leaving. And it's just amazing to think of just how bad it's been for Miami because they never are getting it right.
I have friends that are in their 40s that fell in love with Dan Marino, Mark Duper, Mark Clayton. They fell in love with that Shula team in the 80s. And that's why they're Dolphins fans. They're like, yo, Rich, the same way you were a kid that loved Montana, I love Marino. Yeah. They stuck with the Dolphins, and they're like, yo, it's not been a fun ride.
By the way, can I correct Dan Byer? I'm sorry, Dan, but Lee Majors was the fall guy. and Ryan Gosling as well.
Okay.
To DB's point, the last 20 seasons, the Dolphins' record is 147 and 176.
Yeah. His winning percentage is .549, which Jimmy Johnson had a winning percentage of .563. Wanstead's was .575. No other coach topped 500 in any of their tenure during that time.
You're right. The Dolphins haven't really been a force or relevant, really.
That's why I'm glad you point that out, too, because I never want to be the show that's calling for this guy's job 1 week into the season and one speech into it, but it's more than that. And has he overstayed his welcome? Has the reality set in? Do they have to make a move?
I think I'm a Rich Davis guy here in that we both really like Mike McDaniel. I know you like him for the 49ers tie. I like that sort of deal. He and Lee Majors, the fall guy.
Yes.
But I don't think that all of it is his fault.
No, of course
He could
not.
help himself by maybe sounding coherent or shaping up a press conference here or there. But I don't feel bad for him, but I don't. It ultimately falls on the head coach, but I just think that there's a lot going on with the Dolphins, and he probably did the best that he could.
And I think ultimately, Mike McDaniel loses this job. There's a line of people that want him as their offensive coordinator.
Yes.
He will absolutely get he may not get a head coaching job like that, but the same way like a Robert Saleh fell right back in, like people are like, we want you, defensive coordinator. There are guys that are head coaches that come up short that for a fact someone will say, I want him on my staff.
He's the only coach since Dave Wanstead to lead them to multiple playoff berths. Like they have made the playoffs twice during his tenure.
So you know what? Maybe Mike McDaniel's getting a tough rep. Thank you, Dan Byer, for adding some clarity.
But when he's speaking to the press, why not just simplify things? Like, I'd rather my coach say, you know what, we have to be better. A lot of this is on me and the players, obviously, but it's on me too. We're going to be better.
They did take accountability, but he started it off with that really weak ass statement the positive here is
can't get worse.
Like 5 blocks to go across the street.
And he said it comes down to him as the coach of the team. He did say that, but it was his demeanor. It was the way he addressed it. Everything about it was noticeably odd. That's the thing. And if he had a bad day, hey, so bad. Everybody does, right?
Talk about not just football. Let's make it broader. NBA, Major League Baseball. When a team is floundering, squandering, I don't know, give me any other word. When a team is just fell off the rails, a la my New York Mets. Danny, a lot of criticism of your Dodgers, Dave Roberts, even though you've won World Series with the guy. If you're Carlos Mendoza of the Mets.
Struggling.
And the Mets have lost 5 in a row, and they have this little 2-game lead now over the Giants and Reds for the wild card. A team that was 20-plus games over 500 have been the worst team in baseball, the third worst team in baseball since mid-June.
They've fallen apart, and it starts with the leadership, but it's the bullpen, really.
Does Carlos Mendoza give some rah-rah speech? What do you want to hear from your coach or manager? Because sometimes I feel like there's –
You want passion. I think Dodger fans are hard on Dave Roberts, partly not just because some of the moves he makes with the bullpen, et cetera, but partly because he seems like he's not into the game really, or you don't see him like hyping up the players. You don't see. Now I know everybody's different. Everybody has a different form of leadership. Some guys are more quiet with it, but when it feels like the fans are more passionate than the manager or the coach, that's where you start seeing grumbling from the fan base.
Nailed it. I agree completely with Danny. So your thoughts on that? We're not trying to be hard on Mike McDaniel. If anything, we're
fans of the guy.
But we have to call it as we see it and what happened and what people are buzzing about and the urgency of him having to beat the Patriots here because the next few weeks don't get any easier. So what's going to happen? And that speech about Tua was just pathetic. But again, everybody has a bad day. Maybe it's just that. What are your thoughts? 877-99 on Fox. And you can always chime in at Covino and Rich. And on our YouTube chat, too. Yeah, we got to pull that up.
I'm reading our feedback. Mauser in Cincinnati, who's a big Dolphins fan, he goes, ugh, Dolphins. McDaniel sounds like my teenage horribly explaining to me why he got caught in class with his cell phone. It just sounded incoherent. But again, I said it in the beginning too. Sometimes, like, if your personality is based on sarcasm, it doesn't work in a serious situation, right? It's like I am terrible in serious situations because I'm always trying to be lighthearted. Like, I feel really uncomfortable in serious situations. It starts
to feel awkward.
Everything feels awkward if you're like a lighthearted guy. Mike McDaniel is based on snark and humor. When your team gets their ass whooped, his can't get worse joke doesn't hit.
Right. That's not what you want
and
to hear.
His funny stumbling and mumbling, which might be charming when they're
after that embarrassment from the Colts, you want to see a little fist pounding, this is like Danny said before. Yeah.
Honestly,
it doesn't work. That's a good point when you really watch it. That's why we're thrown off by it.
If they're 1-0, his bumbling and rumblings might be charming. When you got whooped, not so much. So, hey, your thoughts on the Dolphins and anything else around the NFL we will get to. Plus, we're going to go old school today, and on the anniversary of September 11th, there is a sports moment that can't be under the radar. It's a moment that I want to talk about next.
I think there was 2 sports moments that really stood out.
You know what? You're right. I agree with you. I know which one you're thinking of.
And that's what brought us back to a better place. And we said it yesterday. It's been a somber week, and today we never forget. But that's the beauty. I tied music and sports into it, saying, because, not only does it take your mind off of things, it's an escape, but it also brings people together in a really great way.
The world of sports is a great healing place.
It is. It really is.
And there are 2 moments from 24 years ago, back in 2001, that I think you could say, while it is just sports, I feel like helped heal the nation. So we're going to talk about that next on the 24th anniversary. More next, right here, Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio.
So, Rich, football's back, and you already know where you'll find me on Sunday.
On your couch with no air conditioning?
Yeah, but I also got that TCL.
You do have that TCL. Man, listen, the TCL is where it's at. If you need an upgrade, if you're trying to make sure you're watching all your Sunday football on the clearest TV that makes every play pop, TCL's QD Mini LED, the brightness, the smooth motion. It feels like you're right there on the field. And here's a kicker. TCL is right now the official TV partner of the NFL.
Football's never looked better. It's the ultimate football experience. Right now, TCL is making it even sweeter. You can score up to 50% off select models.
And I'm going to take advantage of that because I'm in the middle of redoing my outdoor area, my outdoor kitchen and barbecue.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a nice TCL right there.
Why don't you
right
brag
there.
about it?
I'm going to brag about it.
Bigger
It's a nice,
screens,
sweet TV.
sharper details, smarter technology, all at a price that doesn't make your wallet flinch.
The ultimate season to score, whether it's football Sundays, movie nights, or gaming marathons, TCL delivers the goods.
All at major retailers. Just head to TCL.com for all details.
TCL, the official TV partner of the NFL, and the ultimate season to score.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense. Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the fun.
we're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during
can't.
a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it.
Fox Sports Radio. Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game.
Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
You finally said something right. Congratulations.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
You could take that trash somewhere else. Wham!
We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
Thank you.
Love you. You're very talented. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Great show.
Thank you, Jim. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it.
You gotta be kidding. He never was an elite quarterback.
This team is unstoppable.
He made the right call.
You know that's right.
LeBron James is a legend.
No, he's not. He complains all the time.
You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. Wrong. Wrong.
For 25 years, Fox Sports Radio has dominated the sports audio landscape.
With the biggest talent and the best programming available.
We talk sports and we have fun doing it. We talk about life.
Sports radio is where you go after the games are over, and then the discussion begins.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
It is live. It is unscripted. No other medium can touch that.
And that's what makes it special. Yes.
last time the Dolphins were relevant, Tubbs and Crockett. Miami Vice was legit.
I feel bad.
Yeah.
I'm talking smack
Me
about
too.
someone's job and career, but that is the buzz. That is the story, and I understand where it's coming from. That's all.
Mike McDaniel.
I wish Mike McDaniel the best. I hope the Dolphins sort of turn it around.
Or spot labeled on our YouTube video right now. Is Mike McDaniel trying to get fired?
You know, that's what Danny G was saying in our pre-show meeting, because it sounds like it. Is that really what's going on here? Like, that speech was terrible. Covino and Rich, Fox Sports Radio. Sometimes you get tongue-tied. As a host, it happens.
Yeah, but imagine if I was at like a radio conference or something for talk radio and they asked me to speak on the show I'm producing, and that was my
Yo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
And
it
people would be
happens.
like, this guy wants off that show.
Danny G, I've watched Rich try to say the thick of things. It took him about 45 seconds to get that out. I was in the thick of things. The thick of things.
I mean, we've all pulled Mike McDaniel moments.
The thick of things.
Yeah, but Rich will, and all of us will say words wrong or get tongue twisted while we have animation and some, personality to what's going on. This guy, like you said, Covino, earlier, it's his demeanor that has a lot of people asking questions right now.
Yeah, that's it. So the thought is, and if you go to social media, is he trying to get fired? Danny G was buying into that. I think it's the feeling of the inevitable. Like I said, the weird analogy, and I know this from experience, and I think everybody could sort of relate. Let's say you keep your place clean and pristine. If you know you're moving out in a month, that means you probably didn't clean your house in like a month. You didn't change your sheets. It's a mess. There's just boxes and mess
Why would
everywhere.
he want out? He's a head coach. He wants to fix
Because
it, but does he think it's inevitable?
Maybe
Like-
it feels like it's already happening.
Well,
That's how he's acting.
Sean Bowe hit us up on the YouTube in show, and he said, McDaniels feels like the classic example, I referenced this before, of an OC who's great, but maybe can't run the whole team.
Maybe he feels really frustrated. I mean, they got
to hold the GM responsible,
They
people are
got their
saying.
ass kicked 33-8 by the Colts. Anyway, we're live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. If you missed any of today's show, I just want to remind you that we have a podcast. Search Covino and Rich wherever you get your podcast. There's a best of. It's sort of like our condensed version best of the day and the best of the week every Saturday, 6 a.m. Rate it, follow, rate and review, 5 stars only. Thanks. Say something nice. But follow the podcast, and remember, whatever we don't fit into today's show, maybe we'll elaborate a little more on the Dolphins. Yeah. Maybe we'll talk about the fight. Canelo Crawford this weekend. Overpromised premieres. Episode 108 premieres today at 4 p.m. And there's a live chat right on our YouTube page, Covino and Rich FSR. Let's take a few quick phone calls and then talk about 9/11, never forget, and what sports moments stood out and helped us, I guess, deal with the terrible situation. 877-99 on Fox. Who do we got?
Let's say hi to Meg in Montana.
Hey, Meg.
Hey, guys, you're breaking my heart.
I'm sorry to talk about your Dolphins like this, but it just, as a lot of people are hitting us up saying, since Marino, they're like the definition of mid.
Mid, yeah, if not weak.
If not weak, yeah.
Definitely not major.
It's been bad. It's been bad, but I'm one of those folks who clung on hard after the Marino years, and it's been a rough road. And as you guys pointed out, despite Mike McDaniel's goober 12-year-old skater boy looking attitude, he is the longest tenure of head coach and has had the most success in Miami since Jimmy Johnson, which that in and of itself is pathetic. But my Atlanta, like, everyone's being so harsh and throwing so much shade this week, and I just don't think it's fair after one game. And granted, all last season was a debacle as well.
There's something to be said about what you're saying, because just being on the airwaves here, Fox Sports Radio Nation, I feel like we're being a little rude, like absolutely a little rude.
I don't want to be rude.
We're not trying to be, but look what we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
It's kind of just calling it as you see it, not trying to be rude. It just is right now. So take what we're saying with a grain of salt, Meg, and maybe they turn it around this week. But as of now, it looks like he's uninterested. There's no sense of urgency. This is the NFL.
I look at the Dolphins in a unique way, and it's why I wanted to bring up the big picture of the lack of success. Think about the Patriots dominating that division for 2 decades. However, Tom Brady leaves, Belichick leaves. Who's taken over? The Buffalo Bills. Even during the Patriots run, the Jets had their moments with Rex Ryan. Couple of seasons. Weren't a lot, but they were in the thick of it.
Beat him in the playoffs.
Yes.
Took him pretty far.
So at least they broke through. The Dolphins really didn't. There was like one division title at one point, and then it's just a bunch of wild card berths.
You know, I'll give you the baseball analogy. If you're a fan of American League East baseball, which I know Covino is, there was a good amount of time where, dude, it was Yankees or Red Sox. And my apologies to Baltimore, Toronto, and Tampa, because you just didn't really have a shot. But you're right. There was a year or so where Tampa made it to the World Series.
Yes.
There was a year where Toronto and Joey Bats went on a run, and the Orioles even had maybe 1 or 2 years where they were a wild card. The Dolphins had the odds stacked against them playing in that division. But you're right. Every other team found a way to at least have a glimmer of a chance.
Yes, at least post-Patriots or even a shot during it, and they really haven't done that.
You know, that's great analysis, DB, and it made me feel better about our rude comments. No, I'm serious. It just backed up the feeling and sentiment of everybody.
You think about it, even if a division is dominated in any sport, you pick a team and you'd be like, even if they didn't win it all, there was a year or so where they jumped through it. National League East. Nationals won a World Series. Every few years, the Marlins pops up. The Braves won a World Series. The Phillies did. The Mets have a couple moments of glimmers here and there. So even
2015.
Yeah.
So it's like even divisions with bad teams, they find a way to be relevant here or there. The Dolphins have never found the time to be relevant.
Correct.
And it's not looking good. So
and by the way, with Tyreek, I know he's not the Tyreek of old, but he's still effective. Tyreek and Waddle and Achane, and I don't know. They had it, and I just don't know why it's so flat.
Have you seen a good look of Tyreek Hill's neck? Like, have you ever really looked at it?
Muscular? What do we
know?
know?
My goodness.
Tattoos?
No, I'm serious.
What?
His neck is like Mike Tyson's neck on a little pea, like with a little pea head on top. He's so
strong.
I just saw a picture of him. Like, how did I never notice that?
He's got a pit bull
Yo,
neck.
he's got a pit bull neck. I don't know, because you know Tyreek Hill. You've seen him a million times.
Yeah.
I just never noticed that about him. And this past weekend, I was looking at him. I'm like, my goodness. Like, that's
Saying he's like
impressive.
saying he's like Beetlejuice from the Stern Show.
Who was that? No, but who was
like,
that guy? Remember that dude, that shady dude with the big, strong neck? He was all over the internet.
Are you saying he's like Ram Man from He-Man?
I'm telling you, look it up, and I'm just saying.
I know exactly who you're talking
You know what
about.
I'm talking about?
Yes.
There was the long, skinny neck kid, and he was always with that wide neck guy.
Yes.
And they went viral for he's like wide neck. That's actually a good picture spot. Like, that's what I'm saying. I think something happened where he was doing some real serious neck workouts in the off season because it's next level wide. And again, you can see the pictures. You can see us live on Fox Sports Radio. The YouTube channel's Covino and Rich FSR. Covino and Rich.
Oh wait,
FSR.
I get. He's down in Miami, turning his head left and right a lot to look at all that ass. He's
Looking at all that ass, man. I'm telling you, he's like wide neck.
That neck guy, the internet personality you're talking about, he's from Pensacola, Florida.
Wide neck? Was that what his name?
That's people just call him neck guy.
Neck guy. I'm telling you, it's the year-long bikinis in Florida where guys are just turning their
images. And again, maybe it was like enhanced or whatever with AI, but I'm like, what is that? I never noticed that. But
like
again,
when
he's
Eli,
probably enhanced. He's
it's
in
like
the NFL, so I guess I shouldn't be that surprised.
It's like when Eli Manning had that really bulbous helmet, and there were some photoshops that made it even bigger. Like you're like, wait a minute, are they making it even bigger?
Yeah, maybe I got duped.
Let's go to our buddy and yours, Dan Byer, for an update. DB, I'm hearing my dude Brock Purdy it might be worse than we thought.
Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network says weeks 2 and week 3 are really in jeopardy. So that's against the Saints and against the Cardinals. 2 to 5 weeks is what they're saying. So we talked about this yesterday, and no update right now from Kyle Shanahan on Purdy's status. It's a turf toe injury. That's the bigger issue. Again, because of their schedule, when they've got that short week from weeks 4 to 5 because of their Thursday night game, I think that's why you're seeing this 2 to 5 week sort of timetable for Purdy. But Rappaport reporting earlier today that it's weeks 2 and 3 that seem to really be possibly missed by Purdy.
I certainly don't want to dictate your update, Dan, but with the Purdy news, I had to look up because I feel like it's one of those things people don't know and they just go, yeah. Turf toe for people that don't know. I did some turf toe research earlier because I'm like, what is he dealing with? Essentially, it's your big toe gets overextended and you've essentially really badly sprained your big toe and you don't realize how important balance, everything, your big toe.
Correct.
Major legends have been retired because of their feet.
And if you have had to deal with anybody elderly that unfortunately had to have something amputated, the silver lining is at least it wasn't your big toe.
Yeah.
We make jokes about it, but that's the reason why.
There you go.
Buffalo Bills defensive tackle Ed Oliver didn't practice today because of an ankle injury. They've got the Jets corner Sauce Gardner limited in practice with a groin injury. Week 2 starts tonight with the Commanders and Packers, 8:15 Eastern time from Lambeau. On Sunday night, it's the Vikings home to the Falcons. No practice today for Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy. He was with his wife as she gave birth to their brand new baby boy. No practice for Raiders tight end Brock Bowers. They're prepping for a Monday night affair with the Chargers. And the NFL won't punish Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson for shoving a fan after he was shoved during a touchdown celebration in Week 1 in Buffalo. Some baseball news. Kevin Gausman, complete Game 2 hitter today. Struck out 9. Blue Jays topped the Astros 6-0. A little bit more breathing room on Covino's Yankees in the AL East. Now up to 3.5 for Toronto. As for the Astros, now just a half game up on the Mariners in the AL West.
That division's wild. The AL West got tight real quick.
Orioles dropped the Pirates 3-2. White Sox beat the Rays 5-1. Guys, back to you.
Hey, thank you, Dan Byer. Now, I know it's hard to look back, but that's how you never forget, right? And we're going to share our stories. We were in New York at the time on the East Coast on 9/11, 2001. We'll tell you our story briefly, but we'll also talk about what brought us back to normal and the great sports moments that took us there. So we'll reminisce a little bit. Plus, old school when 50 hits. We have lots to get to on Covino and Rich, Fox Sports Radio.
Wake up, it's 2 pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes. I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it. Fox Sports Radio. Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game. Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
You finally said something right. Congratulations.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
You could take that trash somewhere else. Wham!
We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate you all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
Thank
I
you.
love you. You're very talented. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Great show.
Thank you, Jim. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it.
You gotta be kidding! He never was an elite quarterback.
This team is unstoppable. He made the right call.
You know that's right.
LeBron James is a legend.
No, he's not. He complains all the time.
You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. Wrong. Wrong.
For 25 years, Fox Sports Radio has dominated the sports audio landscape.
With the biggest talent and the best programming available.
We talk sports and we have fun doing it. We talk about life.
Sports radio is where you go after the games are over, and then the discussion begins.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
It is live. It is unscripted. No other medium can touch that.
And that's what makes it special. Yes.
Who wants some?
Bigger, bolder, better. We are Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking
joking.
Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense. Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the fun.
we're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there, and I'll point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate you all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
It's Covino and Rich. Remember everything. Sorry, getting emotional. Everything at Covino and Rich on social media at Fox Sports Radio. And we're streaming live on YouTube, youtube.com/Covino and Rich FSR. It's where you could also find our bonus podcast right after the show, talking a lot about Canelo Crawford, Rich's NFL picks. Overpromised, episode 108 premieres today, so make note of that. Right now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studio, and it's time for our Tire Rack play of the day. Don't look now, but Mookie Betts is heating up.
Here's the pitch, and Mookie swings, hits a drive, deep left center, it is back, it is a grand slam for Mookie Betts. Oh, a Mookie moment here. Mookie Betts on a 3-0 pitch. Hits it over the 375 marker into the left field pavilion. And the Dodgers open it up. It is 8-0.
You proud of yourself? You beat the Rockies, Danny G. You know what? Can you beat the Giants 3 games this weekend for the Mets?
If the offense stays hot like this, yeah.
Sweep the Giants. Thank you, Dodgers.
Leave my team's name out your mouth.
Oh, that's right. You're a Giants guy.
That's Sexy Ryan, Giants guy. But you know what?
I'm a Dodgers fan.
Wait, I was saying that. What do you care then? I'm rooting for you this weekend.
Rich had me convinced you're a Giants fan, Sexy Ryan.
Yeah, I was like, keep your team out of my
back-to-back
mouth.
nights where Betts was on fire, courtesy of AM 570, Dodgers Audio Network. That's our Tire Rack play of the day. And for over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Ship fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. So, we will talk about 9/11 and what got us back to normal. A few events in sports.
Yep.
Baseball,
Yes, sir.
in fact. But right now, we do it every Thursday. We throw it back. Look at the clock. Let's go.
There's a certain. Yeah! What we gonna do right here is go back. Back into time.
Throwing it back for a Thursday. Old school when 50 hits. At 50 after, CNR give you the time capsule topic, and we reminisce together.
Yeah! So, today's an anniversary. Sexy Ryan, I hope you're paying attention because this is your world, bro. This day, 1977. I was a 1-year-old little pimp in the making, bro. The godfather of video games became a thing. Atari 2600 debuted in America. That was my first gaming console. Legendary. I remember when I got it, when Santa brought it, in fact. My dad goes, "What's that?" And I was like, "It's a joystick." Joystick. I know what that means. Joystick. I know what that means. Get out of here with the joystick. And I'm like, "Yeah, man." It exploded in the 80s with Space Invaders. I still remember the day. I had like a Glenn Guglia moment. I went to my parents' friend's house, and like the rich 80s guy had Atari, and he was playing Pac-Man. Bing, 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 bing. But the Atari version, it was different, less advanced than the arcade version, but it was mind-blasting for the time.
It's funny, Covino, you say a rich guy, because it started off slow because it was the equivalent to $1,100 for parents to buy in 1977.
Okay. Well, thank God Santa bought mine.
Yeah, in 1980, they started having sales on the console, and Space Invaders blew it up.
I remember the day that you hooked it up to the back of the TV, that weird little like UHF thing that it connected to.
Like
I don't know what
clip,
it was.
yeah.
That little weird thing. And my first game I ever played on my first ever console, Atari 2600, was Commando Raid. And I remember I thought the graphics were way cool. That's how it looked. It was Commando Raid, Atari 2600. Just shooting down the planes, little dudes on the parachutes and everything. So, based on that, you have to start thinking about how far it's come. How far we've come. It's a billion-dollar industry now.
My first gaming console was Nintendo, NES. I remember getting that in the mid-'80s, and I remember Mario and Duck Hunt came on the same.
But it all started with the Atari stuff, right?
never had
Pong
Atari.
or whatever. But that changed our life. So we want to dive into old school hobbies, because this week we found out that Iowa Sam used to be a fencer when he was a kid.
Who knew?
Let's talk about your old school hobbies, because nowadays that's one of the biggest hobbies in our country, in the world, gaming.
Fencing? Oh, gaming. Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
gaming.
So we'll talk hobbies. We'll talk some sports memories from 9/11 and more right here. Covino and Rich.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best.
You were dating some girl, and you were like,
Hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense.
her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the funk.
we're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there, and I'll point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during
can't.
a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it. Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it. Fox Sports Radio. Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game. Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
You finally said something right. Congratulations.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
You could take that trash somewhere else. Wham!
We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
Thank
I
you.
love you. You're very talented. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Great show.
Thank you, Joe. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback.
Packers home to the Commanders tonight to start Week 2 in the NFL, kicking off from Lambeau at 8:15 Eastern Time. On Sunday, the Buffalo Bills and New York Jets will play. Jets corner Sauce Gardner limited in practice with a groin injury, while Bills defensive tackle Ed Oliver didn't practice today because of an ankle issue. Niners have the Saints on Sunday. NFL Network reported earlier today that quarterback Brock Purdy's toe injury is more like a 2 to 5 week injury, as Purdy could miss weeks 2 and 3 against the Saints and Cardinals, according to the report. The NFL won't punish Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson for shoving a fan after he was shoved during a touchdown celebration by that fan in Week 1 in Buffalo. No practice today for Raiders tight end Brock Bowers. They've got the Chargers coming up on Monday. He's got a knee issue. Kevin Gausman, a complete Game 2 hitter, struck out 9. Blue Jays topped the Astros 6-0. Toronto up 3.5 on the Yankees in the AL East. Astros just a half-game lead on the Mariners in the West. I'm Dan Beyer.
All right. Hey.
You want to see our dwellings? You want to see the Fox Sports Radio studios? We're on YouTube right now. Yeah, buddy. YouTube.com/Covino and Rich FSR. If you're on YouTube, just Covino and Rich FSR. Follow for free. Check us out and join the chat. Broadcasting live. And if you ever wanted to try an Olympic and Paralympic sport, try fencing. It's fast, safe, easy to start. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/try fencing. That's usafencing.org/try fencing.
And
yes.
I was going to say, wherever you're at, you want to check us out. Not only the YouTube page, the iHeart app. You can stream us wherever you are. Catch us and all the shows on Fox Sports Radio in the new and improved app. Select Fox Sports Radio as one of your presets.
It's my second favorite app, Rich.
What's your favorite app? Chicken fingers?
The sampler from Bennigan's.
Buffalo chicken strips?
Back in the day, it had the cheese sticks, the wings. You could match the whole thing.
Spin art dip.
The broccoli bites. I used to work at Bennigan's, and I used to say, I want out of this place, and I stopped caring. Kind of like Mike McDaniel.
Oh, when you know it's over? Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, hey, don't you care about your job? And I was like, well, such like, yeah.
I guess, maybe. Such
kind of,
like,
no. Not really. So thank you guys. I'm happy to be here on Fox Sports Radio, though. Steve Covino, Rich Davis, super producer, superstar Danny G. He's on the phones at 877-99 on Fox. I'm glad Big Sexy Ryan is here today because he is a gamer, and we got to talk about that in a few minutes and how far it's come. DB's got your updates. Spot's on the videos. Spotty Boy at Spot Center. Now, we'll talk about 9/11 because we'll never forget. It was a terrible time for everybody, but we were actually there on the East Coast.
A few moments in the sports world that helped everyone sort of heal. We got to look back because there were some would say 3. I'm going to say I may add a third. There might be 3 moments.
3 moments
that helped
sort of,
everyone heal. Yeah.
Okay, and if we have time, something really interesting about this football Sunday because there's a lot of revenge going on. If we have time, we got to talk about it. But right now, old school when 50 hits. On this day, 1977, Atari 2600 became a thing. And, Rich, you brought up the old school NES. Much like you, I was classically trained on that as well. I really feel like that's what really changed everything. But what really started everything, to me, was not Pong or anything like that. None of the handheld games. It was Atari 2600. I had it. I loved it. We're talking Pac-Man and Pitfall.
I feel like unless you're a true lifetime gamer, you really connect with one console. Like your first was Atari.
Yeah,
my siblings would say Sega Genesis. I would say NES, Nintendo.
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. But what hobbies were you into as a kid? Because this was a hobby. It became a hobby, right? This is what your parents complained about. The same way you complain about your kids being on their tablet was what your parents were saying about you in front of the TV playing video games. But that became a multi-billion-dollar industry where people actually make money. So that hobby became a job for a lot of people. And Big Sexy Ryan is a gamer that makes money. Can you please just give us a little insight on that? Ryan, and you're on Twitch, right?
Yeah, I stream on Twitch. Ryan McBain on Twitch. Drop me a follow. But yeah.
Ryan McBain. I see you all the time playing your games, and you make money doing that.
A little bit of money because
That's
people
crazy.
love to see me get scared because I play a lot of horror games.
Is that really the pull, though? First off, people like to watch this like we like to watch
I don't
sporting
get it.
events.
I don't get it at all,
But
Ryan. I can't understand why
but
someone would want to
he
watch
gets scared, though. The hook is like, ah!
Not you,
Yeah.
in general.
Right.
My kids watch people play Minecraft, and I'm like, how about you play Minecraft?
You know
my
what?
kids will watch this. I forget their name, the Milo and something. I don't know, they watch these kids or cartoon people play Minecraft. I'll never understand it. What's up, Dan Byer?
Imagine loading up Tecmo Super Bowl and being like, oh, I got to go to work. Like
Exactly.
that's amazing. Like
I live to do that.
I got to play weeks 6,
Oh.
7, and 8 tonight on my season. That would be the worst, wouldn't it?
So old school hobbies. If you want to chime in on the game stuff and the impact it had on you,
But you
by
know
all
what?
means, go right ahead.
I'll play Dan Byer in Tecmo Super Bowl, not Super Tecmo Bowl, which is a big mistake people make. It's
Correct.
It's Tecmo Super Bowl, which is better than the OG Tecmo Bowl. People don't talk about that enough. 4 more plays, 8 plays instead of 4,
And all the teams.
and all the teams. Can you imagine though watching other people play? I can't. Ryan, God
Or
bless
can you imagine investing now in Roblox, you know, on the market?
Well, you got to be a little entertaining too. Me personally, I get hammered and I just like talk about certain things.
Now I want to watch.
Yeah, so people love that.
I want to see Ryan get scared. You know what? That's funny. I didn't know that was like your hook though. Like he just plays scary because I see his clips all the time.
Yeah.
Again, Ryan McBain on Twitch. He's making money on this. You could invest money in it now. It's a big deal. I saw someone say, "Man, our kids got a lot of nerve asking us for Robux on their Roblox. I don't even have Earth Bucks, and you want Robux? Get out of my face." But these hobbies have turned into multi-billion-dollar industries and ways for you to make money. What were some crazy hobbies you got into as a kid, aside from the obvious baseball card collection and your scratch and sniff stickers, besides all that?
You just named my one and only hobby, I
Really?
think.
That was the only one?
Baseball card collecting.
Yeah, but you didn't do like karate or anything else, like extracurricular? That was like a hobby. You weren't in Cobra Kai?
There was no Miyagi-Do in my
Really?
hometown. But no, I hung out at the baseball card shop, and that was like...
What was the name of it?
It was called Rare Coins, only because it was just an
Sounds
old-ass...
like some old dude
No.
smoking a
It
cigar.
was.
And
Sounds
they're
like he
running
had
the
a
place.
coin. There was an old guy named Val. I remember this guy. God, rest in peace. Like, no way he's still alive.
Hey,
this
you
guy.
never know.
Maybe
I'm
if he's
135.
Yeah, maybe he's 110. He's the oldest guy ever. But I remember this guy Val owned Rare Coins in Franklin Square, Long Island, and he realized that I'm not really making much money on Rare Coins, but it was the baseball card explosion of the late
boom.
80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
So he's like, I guess I'm just going to do all baseball cards. But he still called it Rare Coins, and his wife would come by every day.
So it was like a hobby shop, really.
It was a hobby shop. But,
Yeah.
Innovator
but
die.
there was like one little thing of coins, and the rest was baseball cards. And we even told him, like, Val, you need to get video games. He got a Street Fighter, NBA Jam, and his place became the hang. But every day, without fail, you went there after school or on the weekend, you'd be playing, you know, NBA Jam, getting some Upper Deck 1990s.
No, you wanted that Conseco rated rookie, that Mark McGuire USA card, those Griffey rookies.
I wanted some nice cards, like Stadium Club cards.
Yeah, they came out. The Upper Decks came out. That was closer to 90, 91, though.
I
Right?
think, no, there was 89.
Were they?
Yeah, late
89?
80s. So Val's wife would come in every day, and all she would do is yell at him, curse him out, put him down, and then leave. And then he would look at us kids and go, let me tell you, kids.
I think all moms and ladies of the 80s did that. My mom did that to my dad.
Let me tell you, kids. We're like, yes, Val.
Hey, why you busting my chops, Atencia?
He'd say, the lesson, kids, life sucks, then you die.
Oh, man.
And I was like, what a great lesson. Thanks that you tell all the kids that. Life sucks, then you
By
die.
the way, do you have a Greg Jeffries scorecard?
Do you have a future star, Dave Magadan?
Did you have friends? Like, some hobbies, are all hobbies cool, or were some cooler than others? Because there was some kids who were into trains. I'm like, all right, nerd. And then there was
There
other
was some kids who collected marbles, remember?
Yeah, no, for real.
And did marble fighting.
There was marble fighting.
Oh, marbles are great.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
I think we all had them, though, right? Like, everybody had some
my
marbles.
older brother had a huge bag of them. He'd bring them to school, and there'd be kids on the elementary school playground trying to steal each other's marbles in their marble battles.
Because some were really cool, right?
Steelies. There were Steelies.
Yeah.
Those are the steel ones.
The boulders.
Did you have any friends that were early on the whole, like, try to find rare action figures and, like, resell them at those type of shops, like baseball card shops?
But they were ahead of the game if they did.
I remember the one that was popular was, is it Marvel or X-Men? Iceman. Whatever Iceman was that was the one that was
Chuck
hard
Liddell?
Yeah, Chuck Liddell.
You know what?
But there were certain ones that were hard to get.
I always envied at the time, because, again, we're talking about when we were kids, 80s, whatever that generation is for you, Throwback Thursday, old school and 50 hits, hobbies, because today is when Atari came out, and look, that hobby became probably the biggest thing in our world, one of the biggest things in our world. Remote control cars was a big deal back in the 80s. Oh, really?
You know what? Let's
take
take
your
your
feedback.
Yeah.
You know, if you got one at Radio Shack, you were lucky. But
Dude.
people that took it serious,
Yeah.
you'd see theirs, and you're like, oh, my God.
So jealous.
Oh,
Like,
sorry, I didn't mean to take your
well,
answer.
you did.
Jack, what's up, buddy?
Hey, bud.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, man? Tell us about it. I remember my buddy had, like, one called The Frog, and
Yeah, those are the old Tamiya. I had one. It was a Rough Rider, and then the old Volkswagen one, and that kind of was a springboard for me to get into RC airplanes, and I still do that.
yeah, dude, they were, you know, when you got something next level, entry level, like the Frog, you knew that you weren't playing on that game. You had like a toy. They had a real remote control car. That's awesome, man, that you still do that for fun. I mean, you know, you want to set your kids up with fun hobbies like that too, that they could take into their adulthood.
Do you guys remember the worst remote control car of all time? The Animal. Do you remember it had claws came out of the wheels, and it was supposed to be able to climb over all terrain.
The animal. I told everybody remembers that.
Nothing could stop. Well, anything could stop.
Everything stopped
the animal. It was
everything stopped the animal.
You couldn't. It made it seem like it could go through a jungle or forest. Meanwhile, it couldn't get over a little, some weeds on your front lawn. The Animal was a great one.
Rich, do you think a lot of those little kids that love the RC stuff are now flying drones?
Yes, that's basically what I was thinking when he said that. You know, he's flying these planes. I bet you it's the same kids that were doing that are doing the drone stuff. Because I don't.
I feel like I resisted a lot of these things. You guys are having these conversations, and I had friends that would do this stuff, and I'd be like, yeah, later.
You know why, though? Because you were probably running around playing wiffle ball or football on the street.
Yeah,
Same.
My childhood was more street sports and Nintendo.
Same.
Because I had a buddy that was way into. You guys ever hear of like slot cars?
Yeah.
Where you race like you race these cars. You could go to places and race like, I guess you would say they're little wooden type of cars that maybe 6 inches to a foot long, and you'd bring them to places and race them. I'm like, yeah, no thanks.
Old school hobbies. And what else ties into this in a funny way? I don't know if you missed it, but yesterday we found out that Iowa Sam, we're talking about the tryfencing.org, right? USA Fencing. And Iowa Sam started telling us about how he used to fence when he was a kid. We're like, what?
Yeah.
Sorry, you never told us
Against
that.
adults, and he was a child.
He said he was a little kid with the whole uniform on, fencing other people.
Yeah, we made a joke that he was like Kramer with the little kids. He goes, no, I was the little kid fencing with adults.
But we never knew that. So we figured that was a nice tie-in with the Atari anniversary. What were some other hobbies?
I know one for you.
Of the previous generations.
Didn't you go through a phase where you would rollerblade around town with a cutoff shirt?
I tried. No, the answer to that is no.
Pull me home.
Yeah.
But people did rollerblade.
But I
that
did have rollerblades, and I put them on like
did.
once and busted my ass and never tried them again.
A huge hobby was BMX biking.
Oh, yeah.
Skateboarding, obviously.
I don't know if I ever considered that a hobby, though. It was just like how
way
I
of
got
life.
around. Yeah.
A way of life. Can you guys remember? Because I can remember a couple names. Do you remember the GT Performer?
The Mongoose.
The Mongoose.
The Diamondback.
The Diamondback.
Oh, we all wanted a Diamondback.
If you had a Huffy, you were kind of weak, but you knew everybody had one at one point.
I have to tell you guys the quick story. I may have told it before on Fox Sports Radio, but if you're going to talk about all those great bikes back in the day, the Mongoose, remember the Dino, right? Wasn't the Dino one of them?
You know what was big? I think it was called the Kuwahara bike. I got to double check it, but it was the one that Elliot rode in ET, and because of that, it became a big deal for a minute.
But when I'm talking about GT and the Mongoose and all those. I wanted one of those so bad.
The GT Performer, man.
The GT Performer.
And they really did ride smooth. I had a Columbia. I had a rally racer and a Columbia. And I liked my bike, but when you felt a GT, it did feel next level.
Yeah,
and you wanted one so bad, and your parents made you feel like it was so expensive. And they were like $135.
Yeah, my buddy Paul loves to point that
out. I know that's
my,
expensive then, but they weren't that expensive.
My childhood friend loves to point out how, like, the rich kid in town had the GT Performer or the Mongoose Special Edition, and the reality was that bike is the price of, like, a dinner now. Like you go out with your wife for a nice dinner, and that's the price of what it costs. Meanwhile, your parents made it seem like.
But if you had a decent bike, it was still costing you about $100.
Do you remember that? Remember that weird neighborhood feeling when someone got their bike stolen?
I did.
And it was like
horrible.
an investigation. Like
Yeah,
John got his bike stolen.
It was a horrible feeling. It happened to me. Yeah, it's like your lifeline. Everyone in the neighborhood made a big deal about it.
Bro, it was so weird. I had a friend who really loved his bike, and it got stolen, and he went to major major leaps and bounds to try to find this bike. Do you know P.W. Herman?
Oh, yeah, I remember. It was in the basement of the Alamo or something, right? By the way, Redline was another major brand when we were kids, Redline BMX bikes.
Oh,
but I get it. Some people, guys like you and I, Rich,
yeah,
you had your friend on the back of the pegs. Maybe you rode around the neighborhood. You built some ramps here and there. I never was doing tricks and made it into a hobby. I just rode my bike around.
The tricks,
but it was a hobby for a lot of kids.
The biggest trick I might be able to do was go off a curb and turn my handlebars around one time fast.
Skid around.
Yeah,
real
something like
nice.
that. But my story real quick was I wanted one of these Danny G so bad for Christmas. Mom, Dad, I need a new bike. I'm thinking GT Performer, Mongoose, Dyno, any of those premier, I'd say 1990-ish bikes. My parents got me like a 10-speed Lance Armstrong.
No, it's the weakest.
Well, not even a mountain
that was
bike.
the weakest.
Not. It was like you were either in one or two stages. You either had a cool little dirt bike or you graduated to a cool mountain bike. My parents got me a 10-speed, and I remember thinking like, you just made me so uncool.
Lame.
There was a time I remember riding around the neighborhood
That bike
in disgrace.
came with a lifetime guarantee.
No ass.
No ass and a wedgie for a lifetime guarantee.
Get you one of those little specialized hats too.
Like a yeah, I might as well wear bike pants and a visor.
My buddy Barnando, wanted a mountain bike because after the BMX, he wanted the mountain bike.
Yeah.
And his parents bought him like a Huffy with a newspaper rack on the back. You know what I'm talking about? And it had the news. And man, he could not. He lost all cool points riding that bad boy. But yeah, BMX biking was a hobby, just not for me.
Can I admit something embarrassing that is a goal of mine in the next 6 months?
Yeah.
My kids don't ride bikes.
That's crazy.
Because we live on a hill, right? And then it just never, with all their activities and sports and dance and baseball and this, that, my kids are, they're only 5 and 8, but still, like, they're
They're at the age now. It's all good.
Yeah, but in my mind, I'm like, gosh, I should have already taught them how to ride a bike, but my kids don't know how to ride a bike. It's just, in our neck of the woods, it's not a thing.
Did they do big wheels and tricycles?
I guess like little those, the
By
little
the way,
motorized things you charge.
Don't sleep on the fact that E.T. did have a big part on us wanting to ride BMX bikes. We saw those kids, see Thomas Howell and what's his face, Henry Thomas, and all those E.T. kids riding around the neighborhood,
E.T.
flying across the moon. That was sort of every kid's fantasy, to just drive around, ride around the town the way they were in that movie.
No, there was also that movie, I think it was called Rad.
Yeah, Rad. Yeah. So it
Yeah.
really took that and skateboarding next level.
That was your fantasy? My fantasies were a bit different than yours.
You didn't want to just ride around those hills like that?
No, that
so,
was cool.
Old school hobbies based on the video games. Now we turn it over to you, and then we reminisce about 9/11.
Old school hobbies. Let's go rapid fire. We'll start with Reese in Kentucky. Hey, Reese.
What's up, guys?
Hey, What's buddy. Up?
Hey, I love all this. I had a hutch, by the way, but not getting into that. But I have three brothers, three of us, and we're all uber competitive. I'm 50 now. I'm the middle. So when the Nintendo came out, we couldn't just have one. So they gave us all one and the game. It was Mike Tyson Punch-Out.
Oh, best
so we
game
had
ever.
to go downstairs in the basement. They gave us a 12-inch TV. We had to plug it in, do all that. So we had to watch each other to go through this. King Hippo was the the hardest one. at
Until
first
you
was
figured
great.
out. Until you
Gotta hit him
figured
in the
out.
mouth.
Yeah, it was the easiest.
Yeah.
It was the easiest after
But
that.
but remember, there was that you weren't calling your friends and you had to figure it out. And until you figured
No,
out how
you
to
had
beat
the
King Hippo,
you had the Nintendo hotline.
that is true.
If you were stumped, you can call them up.
No doubt. Reese, that's a good one. King Hippo.
By the way, Mike Tyson here. Remember the code to fight Mike Tyson with 007-373-5963.
When we
I
actually
bet you
had
never beat Mike Tyson.
one of the times we've had Tyson actually on the show, he's so clueless on that game. He's like, who's the guy? He called him
Yeah.
Blast Joe.
He did.
Because
Joe.
because he didn't play it.
Yeah, he never played it.
Yeah,
Never played it.
All right, Andy in Mississippi. What's up, Andy?
Hey guys, got a couple real quick.
Yeah.
I had an Intellivision.
Intellivision, ColecoVision. Yeah,
Yep.
my uncle
Yeah,
was doing
and then,
well in the 80s. He had
I
an
downloaded Twitch
Okay.
to follow Ryan,
Nice.
and I was jealous of a kid in my neighborhood had an Evel Knievel bike and it had a handlebar that you could rev, and it was like.
That's pretty
Oh,
dope.
that's cool.
You want to hear something crazy? History boy here. Do you know how Evel Knievel got his name?
Evil Knievel. No, how?
His last name's Knievel, right?
Yeah.
But he was in prison with a guy named Awful Knoffel.
Is that for real?
Look it up.
Awful
I had to talk
Knoffel.
about it on the History Channel. So he's like, "Yeah, I'll just be Evil Knievel,"
was
and
Evel
he became a daredevil
Because of Awful Knoffel?
Because yeah, look it up.
I don't believe it.
All right, I made it up.
All right,
Maybe I dreamt it. But
Javier
thank you.
in Vegas. What's up, Javier? Oh, let's go to Derek.
Hey,
Derek in
Derek.
Iowa. Derek, what's up, man?
Yeah, so I'm going to start with video games for sure. The N64 is the first one I owned, and Hot Wheels was a great game. I don't know if y'all played that. Hot Wheels on the N64 was amazing.
No, but I collected Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars.
Does anyone remember collecting Matchbox cars in like that blue foamy case?
Oh, yeah.
Still
Like it
got
had a
it.
handle, like a little suitcase.
That yellow handle.
Yeah, the yellow handle.
Still got it.
Yes.
I used to have that
I remember
Matchbox
that for
car
sure.
wash.
That's something Koa is into right now, and he's got so many Hot Wheels.
You know, that's a hobby,
Yeah,
collecting
it is.
those. I
Yeah.
still got mine.
You know what? Covino, I'm gonna steal something from him because he brought this up maybe like a month ago on our Patreon, and I forgot it existed, and he unlocked a memory. So I'm gonna unlock a memory for all of you right now. Do you remember if you were baller enough and your parents were cool enough to get this? Do you remember that your Matchbox cars, they had a little car wash you could buy for your Matchbox cars? It was like a little setup where
I remember seeing the TV commercial.
you could have a car wash for your Matchbox cars. Look it up, and I guarantee you'll unlock a memory. Like, oh my God, I remember
Yeah.
that.
Those were great. I think those are a hobby because you would collect them.
Yeah.
So if you were collecting them, I think that's definitely considered a hobby.
What's
What
up,
DB?
Dan Byer?
I had an older sister, so I was forced to play Barbie, but they gave me like a Ken doll. Okay, but it was Donny Osmond. Yes. But my favorite part about it was blowing up the furniture. I don't know. It was that's she had a whole big. So you mentioned the car wash thing, and I'm like, I had to endure playing Barbie because I had an older sister.
Dude, is that why you stayed at the Harrows in Vegas recently to see Donny Osmond?
I thought that's why when you go to his house, he calls it Dan Byer's dream house.
Yet to see Barbie, but love Donny Osmond. Yeah, who
that's
doesn't?
funny, man.
What, you want to go to Illinois? Say hi to Baker. Oh, we'll go to Javier now.
Yeah, now
Okay.
you're trying to skip Javier.
Oh, what's up, Javier?
What's up, guys? Love your guys' show. Listen to you guys every day.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, but do you guys remember Pogs and Slammers?
Absolutely. I remember not
yeah.
understanding them. They're a little after
Yeah.
my time. That's more early 90s,
Yeah,
right?
my siblings were into Pogs.
So I was chasing women and playing baseball, I guess, at that time. But I totally remember how big that was for so many people. Like you said, Slammers. I still don't understand how that game was
Pogs.
played. But I remember how people collected
Yeah.
them in a major way.
You know,
know-
go ahead, Danny.
Oh, I was going to say that unlocked a memory. My older brother got in trouble when my mom found his collection of Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh, huge.
That was for him. That was a hobby.
Do you remember?
Like,
Do you remember yours? Mine was Itchy Richie. What was the Steve one, Covino?
I don't know, Sexy Steve, I think.
I don't think it was.
Yeah,
I don't think it was.
Studley Steve. that was it.
Studley.
Yeah,
No, I don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
that was it.
Oh, Seductive Steve?
No,
Yeah.
I don't think that's
I think
it
it
either.
was, yeah. Oh, Sporty Steve.
Sporty Steve.
Yeah.
All right. Want to take one last call or what?
Sports Talk Steve.
Want to say hi to Baker?
Yeah, let's do it.
Rapid in Illinois. What's up, Baker?
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. You're on, Baker.
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
Yeah, I know. I had an incoming call. So I just wanted to talking about video games, and my brothers, they had snowmobiles and three-wheelers, and they were 9 and 12 years older than me, and they had an Atari. And by the time I was grown, the Atari was broken, and the Legos were smashed.
Let's hear it from Mike McDaniel, everybody.
Yeah, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
Hey, you know what? Hey, well done, Covino.
Thank
Well
you,
done. I like that. Mike McDaniel.
Hey, how about three? He mentioned three-wheelers, though.
Yeah.
There were some kids in the neighborhood that had the little motorcycles.
Nah, Rich had a pogo stick.
I got it right. That's how I got it right down. Just pogo around.
Yeah, they called him Pogo
Boing,
Rich.
boing,
I heard he could leave one street at a time.
No,
Is
people
that
would be
good?
like, "Where's Rich?" And all of a sudden you hear boing.
You know what?
Boing.
If we want to take it back, though, Pogo Ball was a thing.
You did love pogo.
I was pretty
Did you
good
ever
at it.
use your sister's skip it?
No, but I was a big Pogo Ball guy.
Did either of you ever have a dirt bike? Because I know a lot of us bugged our parents.
See, it's funny because you're talking like a motorized
Yeah,
motocross dirt
yeah.
bike. Growing up in the suburbs of New Jersey, we called the BMX bike a dirt bike. That's just what we called them. But no, an actual dirt bike, I did not. No. But I wish I did.
Same.
Wish I did.
Well, hey, listen.
So old school hobbies. Props to the ColecoVisions and the Intellivisions and all the old school consoles. Atari came out. 2600 came out on this day, 1977. It exploded in the 80s, and now it's the hobby is now someone's job. It's the biggest
is that crazy?
industry going, and props to the come up because we all witnessed it.
So wait, Ryan, you have a Twitch and an OnlyFans?
Whoa.
Both? Okay.
I guess.
You're not supposed to know about that.
Ryan McBain, if you want to follow him on Twitch, it is funny to see. So there you have it. Thank you guys for chiming in. The rest of your answers at Covino and Rich at Fox Sports Radio.
All right, now, buddy, you know that this Sunday, week 2 of the NFL, and I know what you're going to be doing. You're going to be sitting around watching football, but you'll be glued to your couch watching on that sweet TCL screen.
That big giant TCL screen. The picture's unreal. TCL's QD Mini LED makes every play pop. The brightness, the smooth motion. Yeah, I hate that like stutter, segmented, weird
Yeah, you're not getting
view.
that with
No,
TCL.
not with the TCL. It feels like you're right on the field. And here's the kicker. TCL is the official TV partner of the NFL.
And you know what? It's the time of year where people are thinking, oh, what a perfect time to upgrade my TV because you're watching multiple games. You're trying to do the split screen, maybe with Sunday Ticket. So no better time than right now. It's the ultimate football experience. TCL is making it even sweeter. You could score up to 50% off select models.
Exactly. Bigger screens, sharper details, smarter technology. Like I said, it's smooth. It doesn't skip.
Yeah.
All at a price that doesn't make your wallet flinch.
The ultimate season to score is right now, football season. Whether it's football Sundays, we're talking about gaming, you could game on these TVs. Movie nights, you're just getting an amazing picture with TCL delivering the goods.
Available at all major retailers. Just head to TCL.com for details.
The official partner of the NFL and the ultimate season to score.
Wake up, it's 2 pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it. Fox Sports Radio. Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game. Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
You finally said something right. Congratulations.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
You could take that trash somewhere else. Wham! We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all, so I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
Thank
I
you.
love you, You're very talented. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call. Sure. Great show.
Thank you, Jim. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it.
You gotta be kidding.
He never was an elite quarterback.
This team is unstoppable.
He made the right call.
You know that's right.
LeBron James is a legend.
No, he's not. He complains all the time. You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. Wrong. Wrong. For 25 years, Fox Sports Radio has dominated the sports audio landscape with the biggest talent and the best programming available.
We talk sports and we have fun doing it. We talk about life.
Sports radio is where you go after the games are over, and then the discussion begins.
If the Chiefs win,
sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
It is live. It is unscripted. No other medium can touch that.
And that's what makes it special.
Yes.
Who wants some?
Bigger, bolder, better. We are Fox Sports Radio. Yeah.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
yes, we talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking Bo
joking.
Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, "Hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense." Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say. It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the fun.
we're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, "Oh, look at that bozo over there," and I like point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate your show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct. 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event
You
during
can't.
a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it. Who you picking?
The Raiders.
Bo Jackson?
Raiders, bro.
Marcus Allen?
Marcus Allen, high-fiving.
Lawrence
Covino
Taylor can
and
actually
Rich.
sack people.
CNR on FSR live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. And the LG X Boom Grab is the portable speaker that powers your hustle. From morning coffee runs to midnight rooftop hangs, enjoy vibrant sounds with up to 20 hours of playback and now 25% off at LG.com. So you can save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. FALL25. Bring the boom.
Boom.
That's what we do with X Boom.
I got to, you know what? I'm going to look into one of these because I do all the walk-up music for the kids for softball and baseball.
Yeah.
Maybe I got to get the LG Boom. Get some better sound.
Who do you think you are, Robert Shepard?
Yeah. Bob, now batting. And for over 40 years, Tire Rack has been shipping tires to customers everywhere. The right tires for how, what, and where you drive. Ship fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection. Convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
All right. So today, it's a tough day.
Yep.
And I do want to thank you guys for having fun with us as we do our show. If you still want to chime in on the old school hobbies, talk about the video games that impacted you, hit us up at Covino and Rich at Fox Sports Radio. But on this day, all those years ago, 2001, Rich and I were on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Our stories, we've told it every year since because you never want to forget. On our Patreon at SiriusXM. But here on Fox Sports Radio, I'll make it simple. I was working at K-Rock, New York, home of Howard Stern. And woke up that morning, and I'm hearing Howard talking about what's going on. You're like, what? Like, do I even go in? What's going on? And got on the bus from Jersey, heading into New York, and right at the tunnel, true story, right at the tunnel, right there about that, because I didn't know what was going on. We didn't know it was a terrorist act at the time. They said, turn around, we're not letting you in. Turned around, continued listening to the Stern broadcast. Him and my old buddy, Crazy Cabby, were talking about this guy, Osama bin Laden, who I really had never heard of at the time. I was a young dude. Yeah, I was a young dude. Didn't care about that stuff. An innocence, if you will, because life changed.
Yeah.
Got back to my hometown, put on the TV, continued watching this horror, ran up the hill in my hometown of Union, New Jersey, was able to see the Twin Towers up in smoke, my buddy Barry. And then tragedy happened. I never made it into the city, but we had to live with the aftermath because that's where we worked. That was our backyard. And everybody knew somebody that had passed away or that was affected. And I'll just say this. I'll give a shout out to Thomas J. Fisher. He was my neighbor right across the street. Till this day, my parents live on the street named after him because he passed away that day.
Yeah.
Our neighbors, our colleagues, their family members, high school kids. Shout out to my buddy Khalid Shahid. I saw him the night before. We played pool. Never saw him again. Everybody knew somebody. It was a horrific day. But we did get back to normal, and we'll tell you about that in a few minutes.
Yeah,
Rich, you were in the city doing Nickelodeon stuff.
Yeah, I was in Union Square, which is like 10, 15, like 10, 20 blocks away from World Trade. And I remember I was doing an 8 a.m. shoot for Nickelodeon at the time. I was doing little videos.
Rich was the host of Blue's Clues, the original.
In between all like Keenan and Kel and the Amanda Show and all that, I was the guy like coming up next on Nickelodeon. So I was in the middle of a shoot, and the camera guy's like, yeah, guys, I got to go. And we're like, where are you going? It's like 8 a.m. He said, I live across the street from World Trade, and my wife said there's a fire. I got to leave. Sorry, man. And he ran out of there, and I just remember being stuck in the city all day, and you go outside, and everyone was walking up from downtown, like away from disaster.
So
and it was
scary,
just,
yeah.
I remember I couldn't get home until that night. And again, everyone knows someone. So Mike Kiefer is the neighbor and friend we lost in our block, in our street. So.
Yeah, everybody was affected. Life was never the same. You guys know the deal. Whether it be at the airport, but for us working in New York, it was just constant security for years. Dudes in Army gear with machine guns, and that became the new normal. However, there were a few moments that brought us back to normal.
Yeah.
And made us realize that, I guess life moves forward and we'll be okay.
Because there was a sense of, when could I laugh again? When could I cheer again? When could I do anything again?
Oh, dude, working in radio, I mean, I imagine a lot of people listening to Fox Sports Radio would find it interesting that we had to pull songs off the playlist because they were insensitive. Yeah. At the time, Afro Man was a big deal. We were playing it on the rock radio station.
Man, no one's worried about getting high then. Because I got high. Gone. Number one song.
Drowning Pool Bodies was one of our biggest songs.
The lyrics was "Let the bodies hit the floor."
Pulled from the playlist because it was deemed insensitive. So
Yeah.
even the music industry, these bands, these artists, everybody was impacted in some way.
Insensitive lyrics were
Yo,
pulled.
we had to edit a Notorious B.I.G. song, and we also could no longer play Gap Band, You Dropped a Bomb on Me.
Oh, yeah. Like anything that had an insensitive reference or that made people think of it, you had to make the adjustments.
And
you had to pivot.
The song in heavy rotation was, remember Enrique Iglesias' Hero?
Yeah,
and they would put all the little clips of FDNY and NYPD in the song.
Yep.
But yeah, just there were a couple sports moments that really helped the healing process. And
Well, I'll set up the one because I know that you have more thoughts about it than I do because you're a Mets fan.
I mean, my feeling is that the Mets were not really competitive as we wanted that year.
But on September 21st,
10 days later,
10 days after the terror attacks, Mike Piazza came to the plate at Shea Stadium in the 8th inning. The Mets trailing the rival Braves 2-1.
And Piazza...
It was the first sporting event in the city since the attack.
And Piazza hit a block. There was a sense of, okay, you're cheering. Okay, it's okay.
And that's the power of sports. There's a lot of people that poo-poo sports like it means nothing. No, it means a lot more than people really realize.
And the other moments we're going to talk about, we'll get to after Dan Byer's update. DB, what's up, man?
Guys, tonight it is the start of week 2 in the NFL season with the Commanders and Packers from Lambeau. Kickoff comes up at 8:15 Eastern Time. NFL Network reported earlier today that 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy could miss 2 to 5 weeks with a turf toe injury, as he's likely to miss games against the Saints and Cardinals, according to the report. Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy missed practice today because his wife was giving birth to their baby boy. Raiders tight end Brock Bowers missed practice. He has a knee injury. Raiders have an extra day. They're hosting the Chargers on Monday Night Football, the first of 2 games on Monday night. Chiefs say wide receiver Xavier Worthy was a limited participant in practice today because of his shoulder injury suffered against the Chargers in Week 1. Well, in advance of their AFC East showdown, Bills and Jets a little bit dinged up. Sauce Gardner limited in practice for New York because of a groin issue. Ed Oliver didn't practice. He's got an ankle injury. The NFL says they won't punish Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson for shoving a fan on Sunday night. After that, fans shoved Jackson and wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins during a touchdown celebration. And finally, in baseball today in Toronto.
On the ground at first, picked by Vladdy. He goes to the bag, and Kevin Gausman has pitched a shutout. 6-0 the Blue Jays win.
Complete game 2 hitter struck out 9 on the Blue Jays radio network. You heard the 6-0 win, but maybe more importantly, Blue Jays up 3.5 now on the Yankees in the AL East, while the Astros are just a half game up on the Mariners in the AL West following the loss. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Dan Byer. Have a good night, bud.
Thank you, DB. So we're Covino and Rich. Appreciate all the feedback at Covino and Rich. There's a few other sports moments that brought some normalcy back to our lives around this time, all those years ago, 9/11, 2001. We told you about Mike Piazza. There's like 2 or 3 more that really started to bring us back.
We'll hit on those. And tonight
is your night, bro.
A real good Thursday night football. Do you have a read or feel on this game at all? We'll discuss Washington, Green Bay in just a few right here. Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio.
When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense. Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win.
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the funk.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there, and I'll point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it. Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it. Fox Sports Radio. Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game. Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
You finally said something right. Congratulations.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
You could take that trash somewhere else. Wham!
We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
Thank
I
you.
love you. You're very talented. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Great show.
Thank you, Jim. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it.
You gotta be kidding. He never was an elite quarterback.
This team is unstoppable.
He made the right call.
You know that's right.
LeBron James is a legend.
No, he's not. He complains all the time. You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. Wrong. Wrong. For 25 years, Fox Sports Radio has dominated the sports audio landscape with the biggest talent and the best programming available.
We talk sports and we have fun doing it. We talk about life.
Sports radio is where you go after the games are over, and then the discussion begins.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
It is live.
Yo, nobody believes me, but I jumped over the flagpole in
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you never did.
I did. Jumped over the flagpole in Super Mario Brothers.
Liar, liar,
Or
eh?
as I said, growing up on the East Coast, Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, Super Mario.
So, welcome back to the show. Covino and Rich throwing it back on a Thursday, live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Ever wanted to try an Olympic and Paralympic sport? Try fencing, like Iowa Sam. It's fast, safe, and easy to start. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing.
No, USA. And the LG X Boom Grab is the portable speaker that powers
I'm sorry,
your
did you
hustle.
say X Boom Grab?
X Boom. From morning coffee runs to midnight rooftop hangs, enjoy vibrant sounds up to 20 hours of playback. And now save 25% off at LG.com with code FALL25.
I thought it was up, down, left, right, BA select start for 30 lives.
That's a different code.
Oh, okay. Fall 25 again at LG.com for 25% off. Bring the boom. X Boom.
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 Now, in regards to the 24th anniversary of a tragic day, 9/11, we talked about some of the sports moments that brought the world back to a bit of normalcy. Of course, that Mike Piazza home run against the Braves 10 days later. The other, I said I was thinking of two others, and I don't think they're the ones you had. For me, I was thinking of Sammy Sosa running out with the American flag.
Oh, that's a cool one. Yeah.
I had not thought about that, and I saw a feedback. Someone said Sammy Sosa.
It's an iconic moment for sure. But as a Yankees fan, remember they made the World Series that year.
The only year I rooted for them, and they lost.
Well, not only you, even the Boston fans, instead of singing Sweet Caroline, they sang New York, New York.
Yeah.
And that was kind of cool. It's like, all right, look, this is uniting people. At least that's good. We're cheering for Mike Piazza. We started feeling normal again thanks to sports. And there's another moment too, Rich, that Zach wanted to bring up. Zach in Kansas City are on the Covino and Rich show.
What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? Big fan of the show.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I was in second grade during 9/11, but I remember pretty vividly all the Thanksgiving Day game, November 22nd, 2001, Dallas Cowboys versus the Denver Broncos when Creed performed Higher during the halftime show. That was like the most patriotic thing of all time, and I remember, the clips still circulate around social media all the time, and so that's just what I wanted to bring up. That's what
Dude, such a great call. It really is. It's an unforgotten. Actually, the clip lives on, like he says, but people forget that that's what it's from in that moment. And it was a majestic performance of "Can You Take Me High?" And people were flying around the stadium and the American flag. Scott Stapp was wearing the Cowboys jersey. He's not kidding. That was a big moment, and it still lives on. But the coolest moment, I think we saved for last.
Yeah.
But thank you, Zach. That's a great one.
The coolest moment happened at your stadium with the guidance of the captain, Derek Jeter.
Yeah, the backstory is awesome.
When they're in the tunnels getting ready for this moment, it was Derek Jeter who told President Bush, "You have to throw it from the mound, and you better not bounce it."
And you better not bounce it.
And I mean, George W. Bush throwing out a perfect strike with a bulletproof vest on.
I always thought the Queen of England in the Naked Gun movie had the coolest first pitch.
Well, that was a great screwball, yeah.
It was an amazing screwball, but this one, with the pressure of that moment and how much it meant to the world, because this was the first game at Yankee Stadium in the 2001 World Series. Everybody's watching. This is our leader.
What a sense of composure and
Amazing
power and
moment.
strength. Like, I know it sounds ridiculous because you're saying it's only a first pitch, but imagine the difference if he threw like a 50 Cent or Baba Booey pitch in that moment. It would have been terrible.
Perfect strike,
It would have been
dude.
really bad.
Perfect strike from the rubber, from the mound, and that was the first pitch of Game 3.
It showed the strength of our country.
It did. It meant so much in that moment, and it was a strike thrown by our president, George W. Bush. An amazing first pitch, probably the best first pitch in history.
More accurate than Devin Williams as of late, right?
Oh, yeah, that's not saying a lot, though. So, hey, share your memories, share your thoughts, and we thank these moments for putting us back on track, but we'll never forget 2001, 9/11. Again, Covino and Rich. All your feedback at Covino and Rich at Fox Sports Radio.
Now, as far as tonight, I got no read on this game. Maybe take the points if you're a Washington fan, plus 3.5, but I don't know. It's going to be a good one. We'll see you tomorrow. Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the overpromised land. We do that next.
Goodbye.